Yo, what's up, squad? We back at it with another video. We got this new video that I just found. Well, I looked up myself. We got Watch Mojo. We got the 10 most notorious criminals of all time. We finna check it out. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure y'all share it with your friends, share it with your family. Share it on all your platforms too. Share it on Twitter, share it on your Instagram, your Snapchat. I'm liking how my channel going so far. Thanks to y'all and my day ones, and also the people that's not subscribed.
Crime does pay.
You like being a gangster?
A lot of money.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 real-life career criminals. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be looking at the most charismatic, disturbed, and ruthless people ever to make a living by breaking the law. Number 10. Leonid Minin. Originally born in the Ukraine, Leonid Minin made a name for himself in the underworld as an international arms dealer, selling dangerous weapons to dangerous people. His most notorious clients included Charles Taylor, the controversial ex-president of Liberia, and several revolutionary groups across West Africa. While Minin's business fueled the fires of war, the man was fueling himself with drugs, alcohol, and ladies of the night. He was discovered among the company of all three of those things, as well as around $500,000 worth of blood diamonds when he was finally arrested in Italy in 2000. Number 9. Charles Ponzi. You don't always
I feel like I heard that name before,
blind.
Charles.
He was arrested.
Charles Ponzi?
It was a swindle from start to finish.
Styling himself as a businessman, Charles Ponzi swindled millions of dollars from his investors with a plan that involved redeeming postal reply coupons from other countries for postage stamps in the United States, which could then be sold to make a profit. If it sounds too good to be true, that's because it was. And the only person who profited from the so-called business plan was Ponzi himself, who ended up pocketing most of the money. Ponzi was a pioneer among white-collar criminals, and his legacy lives on today in what is now called a Ponzi scheme.
Just when I had said, I felt like I heard his name before. All of a sudden, it was called the Ponzi scheme. So that's why that thing is so known now.
Number 8. Jesse James.
What's your name? James? Jesse James?
One of the most legendary figures in the American Old West, Jesse James was also a notorious train robber, and he and the other members of the James Younger gang weren't above murdering anybody who got in their way. Over their career, James and his gang are believed to have
I
stolen.
ain't gonna lie, they better have Billy the Kid on here that went up and that was also a notorious most wanted back in the cowboy days. I used to watch the Western shows. I used to watch Bonanza and all that. So, hey,
Stolen
they better have him on this
approximately
most notorious criminal of all time.
$200,000, but were nevertheless admired in their home state of Missouri, mostly because of their
But then he got shot by the sheriff in a gunfight.
support for the Confederacy during the American Civil War. James' status as a folk hero was finally cemented when fellow gang member Robert Ford shot him in the back. Guess the town wasn't big enough for the both of them. Number 7. Amado Carrillo Fuentes. For a while, there was no bringing down this Lord of the Skies. Amado Carrillo Fuentes was the leader of Mexico's Juarez cartel, a position he obtained by assassinating the group's previous boss, Rafael Aguilar Guajardo. Fuentes was known as El Señor de los Cielos, thanks to the giant fleet of planes he used to transport cocaine around the world. He was also one of the wealthiest criminals in history, with a net worth estimated at over $25 billion US. Fuentes died in 1997 from complications during the plastic surgery he was getting to hide from authorities.
Ooh.
Number 6. James Whitey Bulger.
He is a predator in every sense of the word.
You gotta be wicked smart to evade the authorities for as long as this Southie. Born in Boston, James Bulger quickly made a name for himself as a young ne'er-do-well, known for stealing and getting into fights. Nicknamed Whitey by the local constabulary because of his light blonde hair, Bulger eventually moved up in the underworld, becoming the boss of Boston's Winter Hill Gang, where he was responsible for crimes that ranged from extortion to arms trafficking.
Bottom line is Bulger has to be caught, and the sooner the better. This has gone on long enough.
In 1994, Bulger went into hiding and wasn't apprehended until 2011 at the ripe old age of 81. Number 5. Jean-Bernard Lasneau. Sometimes the biggest criminals can be hiding in plain sight. Originally born in France, Jean-Bernard Lasneau was a wanted man in several European countries during the 1980s and 90s due to his arms trafficking, which broke several international trade embargoes.
You traffic arms. Trade.
Lasneau went on the run to avoid capture and eventually resurfaced in Florida, where he brazenly continued conducting his illegal business from the comfort of his extravagant condo. He even had his own publicly accessible website, where anyone could buy a fighter jet or a machine gun as long as they had the cash and the proper papers. After disappearing in 2002, Lasneau was finally arrested in Switzerland.
Dang, he been in hiding for that long, and they haven't caught him into 2002, so the case was still going on. Shit, that's gonna be iffy. They always say you're not gonna outrun the law. You always gonna get caught, right? But then when you look back at these well-known serial killers, the Zodiac Killer, Jack the Ripper, nobody never found out who they was, or if they did found out, it was too late. They was already gone or dead. Literally, they had a study have came out in like the 1990s about they had figured out who Jack the Ripper was. And the dude was literally at the police station for interrogation, but they let him go because they didn't have nothing on him. But he fit the criteria of everything, and it was the local barbershop man.
That same year. Number 4. Meyer Harris, Mickey Cohen.
Find these bastards. Kill them all. Get their families.
You don't have to act in a movie to be a Hollywood star. Just ask Mickey Cohen, one of the most infamous mob bosses Los Angeles has ever seen. A scrappy fella who originally worked as muscle for the mafia during Prohibition, Cohen worked his way up the organization's ladder until he reached the top. Always a snappy presser, Cohen was as good a publicist as he was a gangster. He knew how to play the media and give even his most heinous actions a positive spin. It's no wonder then that Cohen was only ever arrested for tax evasion, despite having been guilty of far worse crimes.
Mr. Cohen, you're under arrest. Non-payment of federal income tax.
Number 3. John Dillinger. Yet another bad guy with good publicity. John Dillinger was a Depression-era bank robber whose penchant for breaking the law was complemented by his love of the spotlight.
What is it exactly you do for a living?
John Dillinger robbed banks.
Dillinger was very fond of playing Robin Hood,
Public Enemy.
stealing from the rich banks and giving his spoils back
This
to
was
the
actually a
people.
good movie. If y'all guys haven't seen it, y'all go watch it.
While these claims are still disputed today, Dillinger was painted as a kind of folk hero, an image that was only helped by his multiple daring escapes from jail. When he was shot and killed outside a movie theater in 1934, a surprising amount of people appeared to mourn for the so-called public enemy number 1.
My boy Johnny Depp played a good role.
Number 2. Pablo Escobar. Formerly the main purveyor of Colombia's other addictive substance, Pablo Escobar wore many hats during his tenure in the Colombian-based Medellin cartel, including drug lord and terrorist.
Narcos
Yo
is a
soy
good
Pablo
show.
Emilio
Yep.
Escobar Gaviria. Mis ojos están en todos
You know
lados.
what's crazy also? People in Colombia still praise this man till this day. You got people all around the world that know of Pablo Escobar, especially in the Spain culture and Latin culture and all that. You got people in Texas on the Pasadena side, they literally talk about that dude. They mostly talk more about El Chapo though, but they say Pablo Escobar is like, they worship him like he Jesus, and it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I done my research. They literally made him seem like he was the Robin Hood for the people that was in poverty and all that, because literally he killed political people. He killed people that was of power. He was rich, but most of his money came from smuggling drugs into the U.S. borders and all that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy. When I look at the stories, the dude literally had two dudes go on a plane to kill somebody, and they blew up the wrong plane, killing estimated over 5,000 some people, or more than that.
Escobar's massive drug empire allowed him to become not only one of the most powerful people in his native country, but also one of the wealthiest men in the world, according to Forbes magazine. Escobar was able to keep his wealth thanks to his ruthless pragmatism, and he was always willing to bribe, bump off, or bump.
And then when I had seen on the Narcos show, they had literally took dude out at his most vulnerable. Dude didn't have nothing left. He died by the police on top of the roof, and this happened in I think 1995 or 1996.
Anyone that got in his way. The violent man met a violent end in 1993 when he was shot during a rooftop chase.
1995.
Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Whoever put that out on a post.
Number one, Al Capone. He's the man who put the organized in organized crime. During the Prohibition era, Al Capone seized the opportunity to make boatloads of cash off the, at the time, illegal liquor business.
Not a lot of talking to say, you hear, because you got nothing. You got nothing in court, you don't got the bookkeeper, you got nothing.
I ain't gonna lie, Al Capone is the godfather of gangsters. I ain't gonna cap. He's the most notorious. Literally Scarface with what's his name? The dude that played in The Godfather. I low-key thought that story was mainly about him, but to find out it wasn't really about him. But that's how infamous he was.
Nothing! And if you were a man, you would have done it now!
Capone's violent methods of expanding his bootlegging operation across the United States, including the bloody St. Valentine's Day massacre, went mostly unchallenged, thanks to the unsurprising fact that people enjoy their booze. Capone was also a bit of a celebrity, and was even known to donate his ill-gotten gains to charity. Too bad he forgot to donate some of his fortune to the federal government, however, as he was put away for tax evasion in 1932.
Do you agree with our picks?
Y'all, that's the end of the video. Make sure y'all share, make sure y'all subscribe. I'm gonna get back to y'all.